There was a session early on in the infancy years of CTS when I looked around suddenly and thought, this is actually real. This is not just a figment of my imagination. This is not just an idea on paper. This is actually real. And I look back at those early years and I just remember early on, like I've said in the previous videos, it was just me and a couple kids for a while in terms of, sessions. It would just be me and 1 to 2 other student athletes for a while. It was very slow going there for a little bit. And all of a sudden, I would have another parent reach out. I would have another, a kid would bring a friend. And it just kind of snowballed like that. And before you know it, there were multiple groups of, 5 to 8 athletes per session. We were in a little tiny warehouse, no equipment hardly, and it forced us to take a step back and reiterate the importance of the atmosphere is everything. Who you are around is everything. It's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have. And it's a great lesson for anybody watching this video. There's just because your circumstances aren't ideal doesn't mean you still can't get some stuff done. Right. And I was very proud of that original gym, and I still am to this day. And as we led into our early part of CTS when we first started, all of a sudden, what really was the aha moment, I think, was we were able to sign up a full softball team of, high school age girls. And that was like crazy to me because I think we had, 12 to 15 of them. It was a travel team. And so now we had 1 or 2 groups during the week, a couple, I think it was 3 days a week of, high school age kids, middle school age kids. We had a softball team training a couple days a week. And then we had like an adult, just general strength training session a few days per week with some of my friends, my brother, my now wife, Ricky. And we would all, it was so fun. It was amazing. And I was just like, how quickly that just went from 1 or 2 kids into, 10 to 20 over a course of a few months. And, at the time it felt like this is real. This is a real thing. This is not just another idea. This is not just something that may or may not happen. Like, I felt like that gave me the confidence to really lean in and go further on my idea and the concept. And I look back at some of those old photos and videos of training footage, and I smile, and I'm still amazed by like what we're able to get done with little to nothing. But we had so much fun, and we had such great workouts. And I still get comments to this day about, like, I've had some comments on some of my videos recently from some of my old my friends and some of the old clients, and they're like, I still remember that damn tree stump that we had to push in the parking lot, or dragging those tires in the parking lot. Like, we had some pretty cool innovative stuff. It wasn't innovative by any means in terms of we didn't invent new equipment, but we made some really cool stuff for very cheap that we made work. Because we didn't have the money for actual sleds at the time, or we didn't have the luxury of being able to buy brand new equipment, because I was trying to put this together on a shoestring budget, literally. Like, I did not want to have to go into debt to fund this operation. At the time, I was trying to be as risk-free as possible, so to speak. I didn't want to have to like pile on debt from a brand new startup that may or may not work out. So that was my concept. That was my idea at the time. We were literally piecing the gym together as we were going. Like, that is how we went for the first probably year. So, the lesson of this video and the story that I'm sharing with you guys now is, celebrate the small wins along the way. Don't be afraid to pat yourself on the back, and just understand that you got to start somewhere. And the small wins do compound over time. They always, you look back and you look down the mountain and you're like, wow, we have come so far. And I still do that to this day. Like, I still can't believe we're 15 years almost in business. And it's gone by so fast. And I remember every year, like the things that we went through, the struggles that we went through, the the celebrations and the wins and the losses and this and that. And, we've been through a lot as a family, as a business. We've had some big wins. We've had some not great wins, obviously, and everything in between. But, all good lessons, good or bad. But, this is forcing me to take a step back, and I hope this does for you as well. And that, you should celebrate every small victory, no matter how big or small. Use sports as a metaphor with business. And this has really helped me in business too. And that, like football, for example, you guys know I played football. You don't have to throw 50-yard touchdown passes every play to win. Most really good football teams are great at those 3, 4, 5-yard runs at a pop. Get the first down, just keep chipping away, control the clock, and all of a sudden, boom, you break a long run, or you throw a deep ball. I look at that like it's with business as well, or life in general, is that you celebrate your small victories. When it comes to fitness, you've only lost a pound or two a month. Well, you do that over the course of a year, that's 12 to 24 or 25 pounds. That's significant. So don't be afraid to celebrate every small win that you have. Because it matters. It does matter. I promise. And don't be afraid to pat others on the back too, because when you lift others up, that tends to reciprocate. That's the lesson of the day, is that, again, celebrate the small victories, and those small wins and victories compound over time. Years go by, you keep getting those first downs, you keep moving the chains, and all of a sudden you've won lots of games, so to speak. It's a metaphor. All right. Hope that helped. I hope that resonated with you. This is our 5th video in our 28 days to 15 years of CTS. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. Stay tuned for tomorrow. More to come.